Hey everyone, Creepy here. So today we're going to be talking about Theft King and his video on Lady Fisi.
So this entire video is a massive trigger warning. There's going to be like triggers for everything. So if that's not your thing, then bail on this video now. I totally understand. I normally don't do unscripted videos, but this series of events is really disturbing to me. So I thought it was important to just talk about this earnestly rather than have something really prepared. One of the artists associated with FNAF, Lady Fizzy, has been in a lot of controversies over the years. In case you aren't aware, this is the artist who drew the covers for all of the Fazbear Frights books, the Fazbear Frights graphic novel collections, and even the first few Tales from the Pizzaplex covers. There were allegations of transphobia. They apparently drew very, very inappropriate fan art and very inappropriate fan fiction that depicted children in compromised scenarios. And yeah, there were lots and lots of controversies involving this person. They're very controversial. I'm not sure exactly what happened recently that caused people to start talking about this again, but as of late, there's been this new push, this new movement to cancel Lady Fizzy, I guess.
I think it's kind of a weird choice to refer to this situation as a cancellation, mostly because usually when people talk about cancel culture and cancellation, usually it's an unjust cancellation. At least that's how the culture wars kind of made it out to be, where any cancellation is automatically seen as not really justified. Personally, I wouldn't refer to it as a cancellation, mostly because of the negative connotation with that term, but I understand why he is referring to it as such.
Specifically, a bunch of people on FNAF Twitter and Reddit to some extent were going back and forth about this a lot, talking about how this person is, not a good representative of FNAF and we don't want them affiliated with the series in any official capacity, which, I agree with. I think pretty much everyone would agree with that. They created various assets for Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria Simulator, Ultimate Custom Night, Freddy in Space 2, and, most importantly, Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach. So they worked on Security Breach. In the wake of this renewed interest in Lady Fizzy's controversies, Scott himself came forward and made a statement. Hi everyone, I won't write much about this here, but I will say that Lady Fizzy no longer does artwork for Five Nights at Freddy's. Sexual scenarios involving children are disgusting and grotesque in any form, including fan art and fanfiction, and have no place in the Five Nights at Freddy's universe. It is my understanding that she regrets this time in her life, and I wish her the best going forward. As always, Scott is a class act. So that should have been it, right? This person who doesn't represent FNAF very well is gone. However, I was incredibly taken aback when I went on Twitter and saw people cheering about this, celebrating, like partying. Make no mistake, this whole situation sucks.
I'm really confused on why Theft King thinks it's bad to celebrate someone being removed from a franchise that's made for children when they've done inappropriate drawings of children. I'm really confused on why it's a bad thing to be happy that they are no longer affiliated with that media. Also, I love the fact that he just shows like 3 tweets as if 3 random Twitter users represent the Five Nights at Freddy's community.
Fizzy being gone doesn't undo the damage that was done.
No one's making the argument that her being gone means that the damage she's done is gone. No one's ever said that. It's really weird for you to be claiming that people are making that argument. And obviously when I say nobody, I'm being hyperbolic. Maybe some random Twitter user made that argument, but I don't care about them. Her being removed from the series means it's less likely she could cause other harm in the future. People would consider it a good thing if a murderer is put in prison. Now, would that mean that the crimes of that murderer are all gone now? No, obviously not. I don't understand what point Theft King is trying to make.
There's even a somewhat credible allegation that Lady Fizzy deliberately included an artwork reference to one of these disturbing fan fictions in Five Nights at Freddy's. Think about that. That sucks. That's awful. This is another blemish on this franchise that has already been rife with controversy. Turkey Tom just released a video on the Five Nights at Freddy's degenerates, and I know a lot of people in our community were rather upset that that video came out. Obviously, it reflects poorly on the community and the series, and it sucks. This is just another entry on that long list. This whole situation surely embarrassed the hell out of Scott and FNAF, and we should all be embarrassed.
Personally, I don't know why everyone should be embarrassed. It's not like we did anything. It's not like the FNAF community literally did anything in this situation. Like, they're not the ones doing anything wrong. Also, I am going to be moving the section of his video where he refers to a sexual assault case, because personally, I'm not comfortable with talking about that.
I saw people criticizing Scott, claiming Scott really needs to vet who he hires more. That's ridiculous, guys. Scott tries to support us as a community. He often hires people from the community. You can't vet these young fan artists. Scott wants to give them a chance, but that means some of them are going to turn out to be creepy, okay? It can happen. It's not fair to blame Scott for that, and if people keep acting like this, Scott's gonna stop supporting the community and uplifting community creators entirely.
Personally, I think it's a completely reasonable thing to say that Scott should probably just background check creators more thoroughly, just so that situations like this are less likely to happen. Of course, that doesn't guarantee anything. Once again, also showing a bunch of random tweets as if those tweets represent the FNAF community.
We've already had numerous controversies with the Fazbear fanverse, with 4 of the 5 developers having gotten into some serious stuff. Now Scott has been forced to very publicly admit that one of these artists he took a chance on did this thing, and that sucks. It sucks for Scott. It sucks for FNAF. It's not a good thing.
Who exactly is saying that it's a good thing that this happened? Like, people are just happy that someone who is being harmful to the community has been removed.
I was relieved when I heard that this person no longer works for the franchise in any official capacity. As Scott said, that kind of stuff doesn't have any place in FNAF. However, acting happy about this, acting like a good thing transpired here, is messed up. When Scott was canceled, it felt like maybe 1 in 10 people were genuine FNAF fans, and the rest of the people piling on him were just, Twitter people.
I think it's weird to compare Scott Cawthon to this situation, because Scott Cawthon, while I disagree with his actions in supporting Republicans, because I think that's cringe, it's not the same as what Lady Fizzy did. It's really weird to compare those two people. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, please consider liking and subscribing if you want. Creeper out.
Socialism is when the government does stuff. And it's more socialism the more stuff it does. And if it does a real lot of stuff, it's communism.